think we will fairly soon have to turn our attention to those. Perfectly, free to stay, but indeed, we're not here to oppose the Second Amendment or to suggest to you that a ban is something that's happening that we agree on. Anyway, I will leave it there. Thank you.
Last November, Ben started about our city, about our city property. Now we are not banning anything. This is legal common. It's not a council face game. Maybe you have legal common is somebody thinking that will be the ban. Maybe council not that. I don't like personally. I don't like it the ban because outside the people has a criminal has a gun and I don't have a gun. How I say defend myself. I don't like the gun. It's not a council pass yet. So you don't need to worry about it. I don't think so it's good. That's my opinion. It's not a good law. I don't think so. We are doing something in Pascal and like our city property is more like that, have a problem and save our city employee work and it's not a, we don't know why we respect the Second Amendment and we need to respect that. So I don't think so. We don't need to worry about it. I don't think so. That's my personal opinion on how the council. As a council member, I don't think so. You should worry about it. It can be banned in the Hudson City. I don't think so. Personally, my opinion. Thank you.
I know that many of you here are justifiably angry about the tone and the language I used in an email, a private email I sent to a woman from New Lebanon who had written to me about this issue. Now, this was probably 16th or 17th email I had received from someone who doesn't live in the city of Hudson, but that may be. I have had many fruitful conversations with people who have engaged this issue with civility and respect. And the email that I received, without knowing my position on a resolution that hasn't even made it to the council, was told that I spit on the Constitution, that I'm not a real American, or that I could give a donkey's ass about rights. Now, I drafted a response in the heat of my emotion of reading that. That was wholly inappropriate of my position, of what the voters of the First Word have put me here to do, and had no intention of ever sending it. And I appreciate if you could just bear with me. And it was sent, and within 10 minutes of realizing it was sent, I wrote Joanna an email, which was not circulated today anywhere, of course, letting her know that, and I'll read it for you. This is from February 22nd. My sincerest apologies. I had no intention of ever sending this email. I've been getting endless emails about people who don't live here calling me names because of a gun legislation I didn't write. I happen to take my frustration and anger out on your email, and for that I am sorry. Again, I hope you can understand how upsetting it is to get the type of language that we receive here. Now, I appreciate the anger that people have. This is a highly charged issue, and I think the very fact that I sent an email that I deeply regret speaks to how charged this issue is. Now, we all have our personal experiences around guns in this country, and they run really deep. And so, just as much as many of you have been offended by my words, and I am sorry for that, with all honesty, you need to understand that when people approach me with that type of language, it's something my lesser self got the best of me. So I hope that all of you can understand that we're not proposing banning guns in the city of Hudson. We are merely trying to strengthen what is already part of our code. And I think John spoke to that issue, so I won't belabor it. But I hope that you can accept my words as sincere, because they are.
Cycle cards here, you can apologize yourself. Enough. That's not going to continue, not at all. If you insist on speaking, you can do it outside. Right. Yes. Okay. Now, where we stand. It appears appears that in New York State, there is a policy that bans employees of municipalities from carrying guns of any type in their places of work. I think it's right. So, we have a unique situation. We're not really clear on this, and we're not clear on how that policy, which is set by the state, wasn't set by the state.
Well, I'm not sure what policy you're talking about, John. That bans every use of firearms in public property or
Workplace violence.
We have a workplace violence policy that bans guns, bans employees from having guns on any city property. So this is kind of a wrinkle. And we've also, in our research, come across New York State Penal Law Section 400. And we're trying to understand that in light of both what we're trying to do, as well as what's done throughout New York State, in courtrooms and places like that, civic buildings in other cities. Because of that, we're in the process of doing the research. We don't have a staff. Well, we did, but
I've done the research, but I'm happy to show
Sorry. Are you having difficulty hearing? Is that the issue? Yes.
sorry, I can only scream so loud.
We'll try to speak up, but it is a truck bag. Trucks are more happy here than lots of people trying to be heard. I'm sorry about that.
Well, Cheryl, you've done research? I haven't read it yet, so I'm going to wait until I've had a chance to read the case law, so that we can have a useful conversation rather than just report. So that's where we're at. We're still talking. We've been talking for 3 months. We'll continue to talk. And we've now reached the end of our gun program for this evening with 2 exceptions.
Hello.
The first is there's a gentleman, David Luck. Where are you, David?
Great.
David Luck is well, you can introduce yourself, David, but I've agreed to allow David 5 minutes to express the concerns. He tells me that his concerns jive with those of many of you. I hope that's true because he's just about the only speaker we're going to hear from on this side of the story this evening. Again, because we have a lot of other things to do. So, Mr. Luck, I'll give you 5 minutes, please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm David Luck. I'm a certified public accountant in the town of Chatham. I've lived in Columbia County for the past 25 years. I attend a Rock Solid Church here in Hudson. We're very active in the Hudson community. We have lots of things going on, and I'm very concerned about what goes on in the city of Hudson. My first thing that I'd like to bring up is statistical research. While the council wants to propose banning guns, and their proposed reason is to eliminate or reduce the possibility of violence happening on city property. There's not a statistical evidence that I've been able to find in the past 4 weeks of doing a lot of research. I've gone through all the FBI files for the past 15 years on gun crimes versus violent crimes. I've gone through other countries. There are many, many countries that have much stricter gun laws than the U.S. does. Specifically, I would like to address, there's an article in the Daily News in London that was published about 3.5 weeks ago. It addressed the violent crime in Great Britain. Great Britain has the strictest gun laws in the world, and their violent crime rate is 4.5 times greater than the average U.S. violent crime rate. There is not, if anybody here that is for this, that is for stricter gun control, my email address is tax2013@advisor.org. advisor.org is my website. You can find all my information there. If you have any information that can prove to me that getting stricter gun laws is going to reduce crime, I'm curious as to see, I'd love to see it. I'd like to also point out, in 1966, the city of Orlando was experiencing an epidemic of rape. Rape was just running, the sexual assaults against women was incredibly large. the city of Orlando undertook a media campaign to encourage women to buy handguns and to get handgun training. In 68, 69, and 70, the violent crime rate against women decreased over 90%. Now, as far as the laws here, as I understand, when I was told to come tonight, I understood it was to ban all guns within the city of Hudson. I don't know where that rumor got started, but that's not at all what is the truth. However, I'm against banning guns, period, because I think that where there are guns, there is prevention, and there is a risk that the criminal assumes if he goes into a place where there could be handguns. I would ask everyone here on the council that wants to vote for this law to place a sign in their front lawn that says, "This is a gun-free home."
What if we own a gun?
Because you're being hypocritical not to have guns other places.
I have to agree with you or disagree with you completely.
Why interrupt you then? You're rude.
To be fair,
You're rude.
To be fair, we can have this discussion later. Anyway, to be fair, if they want to ban guns, they should put a sign out in their front yard, "This is a gun-free zone," because the reason that schools have become targets is because they have signs that say they're gun-free zones. Why would someone want to go in with a gun to rob a place where they know there's armed guards? They don't. That's why we have armed guards at banks with guns displayed. That's why police officers wear their guns on the outside of their uniform.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Luck. That's
Am I
fine. I should have said at the beginning that David and I know each other. Okay, clearly we don't agree on one. I don't have anybody lined up to speak for this. I don't know if anybody's like it. Yes. Of course. This is our meeting, Mr. Howell.
Committee that the city of Hudson has a position in reference to any changes or proposals for all that. I'd like the city attorney, Cheryl Roberts, to be able to present to folks assembled here to the committee if she would be allowed for these items to do that.
After doing research, it is the public council's position that a local law will be preempted by penal law that would try to ban weapons from public places, except for places such as schools and courts, where the state law has already weighed in and made those places off limits for guns. So at this point, I just want to make sure that the legal committee understands and the common council that if you pass a law like this, we suspect you would be sued, if we would be sued. And I suspect we would lose.
Okay, is there anybody who'd like to speak for? Mr. Marston, or anybody else?
He had his 5 minutes.
I think Joanne should be able to speak, she's right here. Joanne should be able to speak, she's right here. The one you insulted.
Yeah,
public apology.
That's right.
Especially about lying.
Excuse me. That's right, thank you. Excuse me. Madam, if he had made those insults to you publicly, I would insist on a public apology. You published the insults. He did not. You've received an apology already. We have business to take care of. Some of us would like to get home tonight. We do this every month. Come next month. That's it. No, please. This is not a public hearing. And I will end this meeting now. Clear the room. Okay? You've received an apology.
He gets to my level with that. That's all right.
Whatever. Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. And I'm going to start trouble. I just want to ask you.
Excuse me. Come up here. Come up here. Come up. This is. What are you doing? No. What about it?
I just want to ask you why we related what was in my email tonight.
Can we hear you?
That I used the word ask, which I never did. I said,
asked to highlight.
I also said that in general, the Constitution is being spit upon by people who are trying to enforce St.The. I never singled you out. I didn't say you were.
No, she did.
Madam, all right. I read what you wrote, and it was inflammatory, and it was you were poking a bear. You got poked back. We're done. This portion of the evening is done. The gun conversation is over.
He didn't just insult her. He insulted everybody in this room. Everybody. He generalized.
Yes,
Actually, I was offended by you and him now. At least he
That's right. And just because she was in New York State ordinance. That was nice to hear.
If and when we decide to vote on it, we'll vote on it. If you're that concerned, pay attention to our website. Everything we do is in the public eye. Everything we do is open.
You are condescending.
That's it. We are no longer entertaining any issues involving guns, bullets, or anything associated with guns and bullets.
The gun ban is treason.
No, the issue is over.